welcome back to the Xfinity Desk. Elamite and T2 here for the HCS Pro League fall season as we get ready to head into our final match of the night. Team Envyus battling Evil Geniuses here, and we are not going to waste any time. We've gotten these players set up in lobby. It's our #1 ranked team versus our 6th ranked team, Evil Geniuses. And Evil Geniuses, they're going to want a big win here, and that would completely change the standings here if Optic Gaming is able to compete with Envy as far as overall series score. But right now we're talking about Envy, who is on a 5-game win streak here in the Pro League, not losing to anyone, only being taken to game 5s, I believe, with the Optic Gaming.
You know what they call that?
What?
Come on, Kyle. Winning spree.
The winning spree.
Come on.
That is a winning spree. You're exactly correct there.
It felt like it went over your head for a second.
I was thinking about it for a minute, but we got this going here, and we're getting this one squared away here. But right now, we're going to focus on Hook. This guy's only 17 years old, and the first time we saw him competing here in Halo was just last year.
And let's take a look at these game types, because this is going to tell us a lot about what we're going to see. And it looks like Eden Strongholds is most likely going to be game #1, and it is. So it's going to be very explosive game #1 to begin things off. Tons of weapons to begin. You're going to have the rockets, obviously, in Eden. You're going to have overshield. You're going to have camo. Meanwhile, Coliseum Slayer coming up. You're going to have sniper rifle. You're going to have rockets as well. Great way to start this series.
Yeah, definitely going to be an exciting one. Lots of power weapons, lots of awesome action and story. Eden Strongholds, we talked yesterday a lot about Roy and what he needs to do to kind of step it up and lead this team to victory. And when we kind of highlighted him, it was Eden Strongholds that came to mind, his phenomenal performance he was having there.
That's true, and you're going to have to get it going on the Evil Geniuses side for Falcated. Falcated, again, the young gun on this squad next to tapping buttons. He was the guy yesterday that had a really strong game #2 performance, and when he's playing well, it's very scary because his playstyle is extremely aggressive. He's constantly flying at you. Meanwhile, we did see a couple of small misplays towards the end of the final game where Roy goes and had some uncharacteristic challenges, so he's going to be trying to make up for that as well. Evil Geniuses, we've talked about it so many times. They are looking for that big statement win. And Kyle, you mentioned it before. If they go and win this, we don't know what's going to happen with that #1 seed between Optic and Envy.
Yeah, I mean, the one good news is that Envy has had a lot of convincing victories, a lot of 3-0s there.
And the head-to-head over Optic, too.
Exactly. So that's going to play a big factor there. And keeping in mind, if their goal right now should be what we've seen for the rest of the day here. They want to come out and 3-0 Evil Geniuses, not only to prove that they are, the #1 team here and separate themselves from the pack, but like we said, if they were to lose this series, you might be able to see a different kind of a different game there. If this goes to game 5, they pick up 2 losses or 3 losses there against this EG lineup. That's going to definitely hurt them as far as the overall standings go.
Yeah, the players are loading into the game right now. We are getting this one underway, guys. Tweet the stream. You know what the link is. You are watching it. Also, keep those tweets rolling in. Hashtag HCS at ESL Halo. At HCS as well. Let us know who you're rooting for. If you want Envyus to win, spam your Envy logos or put a 1 in the chat. If you want EG, put a 2 or that Evil Geniuses logo. It is time to get it going. It's the final countdown, Kyle.
And we are starting this one off here with Lunchbox. We'll see if the Twins are able to get any revenge. Keep in mind, 2 former teammates on the other team here in the likes of Snipedown and Pistola here. So lots of history between these lineups.
That's true, and whoever gets that overshield, which ends up going on over to Mikwin, is going to have to go for the rockets, but Hook has the rockets as well. So I actually like this play coming in from Envy. They're going to go and rotate the overshield guy over towards Blue Bend. Looks like they're going on over towards Red Nest as well. So they're going to control the outside and then try to work their way in over towards the catwalk. Meanwhile, Evil Geniuses, they have to formulate a plan together because they are split all the way on red side, all the way on blue side, and that is not good positioning.
Oh, Mikwin doing an amazing job holding 2 players off and keeping this Bend locked out. Roy and crew will be able to pick up a couple kills here, so that's 2 dead for Team Envyus. You can see in that overlay here, it's Hook with the Rockets, the player we were highlighting before this match, the youngest one on this Envy squad.
And points still accumulating on the Envy side of things. You switch on over to Evil Geniuses, and they are just getting double teamed and baiting and switched over and over again. one of the things to pay attention to, Kyle, is the areas and places that players like Mikwin, they decide to fight in. Mikwin's always putting himself in a position, as you can see, he's falling back there, where you can always thrust out. And you never want to be fighting in an area too far open because you need to give yourself some escape paths right there. For example, Lunchbox. He thrusted and fought in the middle of the open. He could have potentially backed off away and gone over towards Blue Bend. When you watch a player like Mikwin's positioning, he is positioned flawlessly to engage and get out of battles.
Yeah, that is a really good point to bring up top. Mikwin definitely is one of the best players we have ever seen at doing that. I mean, I was kind of surprised. We just saw Lunchbox get that kill onto Mikwin, who was top center, focusing on the catwalk stronghold. But then he got challenged and collapsed on from the rest of Envy. You're not sure where the rest of Evil Geniuses was, but Lunchbox got a kind of an uncharacteristic kill, one you're not going to get that off.
I'm saying he's thrusting out into the open right there, right? No matter what. Lunchbox is going out there and despeраting towards that kill where he knows he's going to eventually get double teamed in. Fortunately, Felcade's able to get the overshield, but you're facing the rocket guy right there, and Stairs eating that rocket right there, unfortunately for Snipe Down, but they are going to pick up 2 kills. They're going to lose Blue Bend, so the bleeding stopping temporarily for EG, but they're about to go all for dead. Hook, I don't know if that was a triple, but that was a mean kill on Lunchbox.
Yeah, I mean, and they're lucky that they didn't go all 4 down earlier, and this trip cap didn't happen 10 seconds ago because Snipe Down, like you said, those Stairs eating that rocket here and still being able to hold a triple cap and keep a numbers advantage.
This is all Envy to start. Triple cap still in their favor. Snipe Down with the double kill. I'm going to scroll through and look at the kills right now. Currently, Roy, unfortunately, with the breadstick, so he's got to get it going here, and it's very difficult when you're eating rockets right in the face from Snipe Down.
Yeah, and look at this, Snipe Down able to stay alive. Great positioning. This is the kind of positioning we were just talking about, being able to thrust forward, avoid the shots in the back, and then pick up another kill on player charging towards security.
And Snipe Down still just maneuvering wherever he wants to. No pressure around, everybody distracted by other players on the map. You can see Snipe Down, he didn't want to show where he was positioned at, so he rotated around and tried to make sure that he didn't go into the bend, getting that easy pick right there onto tapping buttons. And Snipe Down, he's the king at shooting people that aren't looking at him. He's constantly maneuvering around the map, looking for those big flanks. And we're on the verge of potentially getting a goose, but as we say that, Evil Geniuses, they finally respond with their first Stronghold points. Unfortunately, Lunchbox did not get that red nest, so I believe they're only going to be able to put 1 point on the board unless they're able to take this above Snipe Down, but most likely the way that Envy's been playing, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets in, gets a reset, sure enough, he does. It's a triple cap. That's all she wrote, so Team Envy is able to put 92 straight points on the board, and then when Evil Geniuses got control, only able to get 1 second. And then this goes back to
full point, which is actually 2 seconds. So.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, but do you want to lose 100 to 0, 100 to 1, or 100 to 99?
I don't know. I just don't want to lose. I'll tell you that. That's
a good point.
And Hook, that was a triple kill when it was all said and done. So just a dominating performance from him, especially Snipe Down sitting at 14, 6, and 4. Positive 10 from him, former teammates of Lunch and Roy. So a little bit of a rivalry there as well. And you got to give credit to where it's due. Envy, we were talking about how scary they looked, and 4 minutes is all they needed to mop the floor with Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I mean, today has been a Pro League day, unlike we've seen a lot in the past here. 3 3-0s, and now a lot of pressure on EG's shoulders here to prevent another 3-0 from occurring. Got at least two games to make it happen. We'll see if they're able to continue this series at all.
Unbelievable how clean that was coming out from Envy, and that's what we've known from them. And that's why they're sitting at 5-0 right now. But we were expecting a lot more from Evil Geniuses in that game. Kind of a lackluster way to start. They're going to have to rebound here in game number 2. And game number 2, I believe, was Coliseum Slayers. So they're going to have an opportunity to do so. That's a solid game type for Evil Geniuses. They're following it up with CTF Truth in game number 3, if I'm not mistaken. So these are 2 back-to-back good game types for Evil Geniuses where they could get some sort of momentum. But they need to start off strong here. You do not want to allow a player like Mikwin to go and get the overshield. You do not want to allow a player like Hook to have the rockets in the beginning of the game. And what's crazy is Snipedown didn't really have many weapons besides that one set of rockets that we saw, and he still was able to go most positive in that game. So he's definitely feeling it. Yesterday it was Pistola who had a phenomenal series, and none of these guys seem to be having bad games. And when you can go and eliminate that, and when all 4 players are bringing their A game, that's when you're going to really shine, and that's what we're seeing from Envy right now.
Yeah, we really are seeing them shine. And we've been seeing them shine all season long. They've been putting on amazing performances, defeating everyone they've come in contact with, and especially having these convincing wins. We saw that from Optic and Splice and Liquid earlier today, but mainly Optic and Splice. But that's what the story for Envy this entire time was, these monstrous wins and these dominating performances.
Yeah, so we are getting this one underway. I just switched on over to observer mode. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of a delay on my end, but we're going to get it going here very shortly. Now, starting strategies coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses. We know that Lunchbox likes to push on over towards the rocket side. That's going to be a big key to start this game, is getting control of those rockets. But the other big key, besides keeping the sniper rifle in your hands, don't let Envy get the sniper rifle. If you allow these guys to do work like Snipedown's playing right now, you give it to any one of those players on that team, Mikwin as well, since we've had that argument about who the better sniper is between those two. And Snipedown even said it depends on the map, really. So don't be surprised to see Snipedown get the sniper rifle on certain maps, then Mikwin get the sniper rifle on other maps, like, for example, Plaza is where Mikwin's going to shine. Coliseum, it's kind of a mix and match of how you want to really play your angles. You can play conservative like a Snipedown and go and play it on the elbow and wait for players to come off spawn and go for those picks, or you can kind of be in their face and take more aggressive angles like pushing up towards the middle of the map like top catwalk, or eventually even going over towards top rockets, which isn't that bad of a spot to snipe as long as you know that your elbows are covered. So here it is, game number 2, starting this one off with a tie.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Looks like the player wasn't able to connect into that game. So we'll get this one underway again very shortly here. Players are still set up in lobby. We're getting this one started once again. Hopefully everything will be working out here. But like we said, 3 3-0s here tonight. We've only played 9 games total, which is kind of crazy to just think about. Or 10 games total now. Yes, you are correct, Tom.
Losing my mind here. I'm losing my mind. I'm like, how many fingers do I have?
But some of those games, they've been so quick. We've literally been able to squeeze an entire series almost into what at times has been like an overtime game.
You know what? Let's get all these players back and let's play out the next set of matches. Let's do it.
Yeah, just finish it off right away.
Let's finish it right now. Let's do it.
Well, we'll see how this game number 2 plays out. We got the players set up in lobby again. We are kicking this one underway. Like we said, Slayer Coliseum here. And we'll say, Tom, like you pointed out, you can't let anyone from Envy, Pistola, Mikwin, Hook, Snipedown, all 4 of these guys are just completely ridiculous, can make a montage per game with what they're able to do with that sniper rifle.
I think it was Coliseum Slayer yesterday when Falcated had his big game. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was game number 2. And I'm looking at Lunchbox because he's the guy that's going to be going for the rockets to begin this one. And I feel like that's going to be a big part of contention, is keeping the sniper rifle out of their hands, whether you're doing work with it or not. Just keep it out of their hands and really try to work with your rocket guy. What does that mean? That means always being in a position where if that guy dies, you can go and pick up the rockets before the enemy team. You always have to be there once that guy dies, and if you die, you have to call out if you have to reload those rockets or not. You do not want someone to go and have to pick those up, think that they're going to rocket a guy, and next thing you know, they have to go and reload the weapon. So small talk, a very big key here, and also making sure that you are watching your sniper guys back if you do get the sniper rifle in your Evil Geniuses. Envy, they have all of their setups figured out. Heck, they're most likely going to be running around the map freely and doing kind of what they want. Evil Geniuses, they have their work kind of cut out for them. They're going to have to kind of shadow their sniper rifle guy and always make sure that, again, they're in position to always watch that guy's back.
Yeah, I mean, you've always got to be working as a cohesive unit and using the advantages your team's been able to gather throughout the opening strats or just throughout how the game's been played out, whether or not that's map control or positioning, the power weapons that are there, the flanks and numbers advantages that you have. So there's a lot that comes into play here. And Envyus, unlike any other team we've seen so far, has been playing almost perfect Halo this entire season.
I can't remember that many mistakes from Envy, and that's the key, is not making mistakes and also just punishing teams when they are out of position, and nobody has done it better than Envy this season. That's why they're currently sitting in the #1 seed. That's why they're sitting at 5-0, and the way that this one looks, Kyle, looks like they're about to go 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're already on a winning spree. They're trying to make that a winning frenzy here. We'll see what they're able to do in DreamHack Denver, but the best they can do now is up to 7 wins, and we've seen an undefeated season before, but it wasn't from Envy, so we'll see if they're able to bounce back.
That's a big accomplishment. That's a big accomplishment for the players, for the organization. That is not an easy thing to do, going undefeated there. Yes, we know that the season is a little bit shorter than previous pro leagues have been in the past, but that's a substantial accomplishment and definitely something that other teams are looking to spoil. And that's what's so surprising, is you would think Evil Geniuses would have came out firing a little bit more. I know that they're trying. I know that they're bringing high energy to the table, but the way that that score it didn't reflect anything from Evil Geniuses, especially the improvements that we feel like they had made during that little break that we had.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Evil Geniuses, they were the team that started off so strong and then started falling short. And it all kind of started falling apart when that reverse sweep to Luminosity Gaming had happened there. So whether or not they can finally put that series behind them and come out and showcase what they're truly capable of, that's just a whole nother story.
All right, guys, getting back into the lobby, having a little bit of a issue here connecting, but we're going to get this one going here very, very soon. Promise you that. So let me switch on over to Observer once we get the powers, and then we're going to go and get this one underway. Meanwhile, on the other end of things, you have Mikwin and Snipe Down. We've already highlighted these guys with the sniper rifle. Hook also is someone that can constantly go big in these Slayer games, so you have to be watching out for him. And again, we talk about it so much about these teams like Optic and Envy and even Splice, where you have these ridiculous players who at any given point in time can go and drop a 20 bomb in a Slayer. And it's difficult to deal with on the enemy team, because you go and you look at, Lunchbox, for example. He's a great player, but when is the last time that you saw Lunchbox drop 20 kills in a Slayer? You haven't really seen it. Tapping Button seems to be that guy. Roy seems to be that guy. I want to see Lunchbox do that, because I know that once he has that team support, when players are going and filling the right spots that he feels like they should be, that's when he's going to flourish. So Evil Geniuses, they got to get Lunchbox going. They got to get Falcated going, and they got to put up some sort of fight against this Envy team, or they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth the entire weekend.
Yeah, I mean, and it all starts here right now in the Slayer Coliseum. We've got the players set up back in the lobby, so we're going to get this one underway, assuming everyone is able to connect into this Coliseum Slayer game. And big test is who's going to get those opening weapons, because I feel like if they go in favor of Envy, they're not going to turn them over the rest of the game. That's the level Envy's been playing at.
No, that's completely true. And that's why it is so important to do the small things, and we highlight them over and over again. And Envy, their problem was slow starts. They said that we don't want to come out and have lethargic series. They came out with 100-1. So guess what? The problems that they've had in the past, those are gone. Evil Geniuses, they still are plagued with those same problems. Meanwhile, Lunchbox, they know he's going for rockets, so guess what Envy does? They decide to light him up. Mikwin takes him down to no shields. Ola going to come in with the cleanup as well. Tapping Buttons, he's trying to control the snipe side of the map. They do have that in Falcated's hands, but Falcated taking damage. Pistola, he's going to eventually rotate these rockets over here as well. So they're going to have to pinpoint where Pistola is going to make his move.
All right, now we are still over here with Tapping Buttons. He grabbed himself 1 kill, make that 2 as he cleans up the no shield. Hoop hiding below the base. So 4-2, early lead here for Evil Geniuses. They are able to get that opening strategy, even with that first kill going over to Pistola onto Lunchbox towards rocket side of the map. Now we're seeing Evil Geniuses answer back.
So while all this is happening, Lunchbox was able to clean up and grab the rockets. So great start here for Evil Geniuses. They're going to look to continue to pile on kills, as long as, like you said, Kyle, they do not allow sniper rifle and rockets in the hands of Envy. That's all you can really ask for. I would go to say Evil Geniuses would stand even more of a chance if the weapons just weren't on the map at this point for them, but Lunchbox, he has the rockets and he has to utilize them. He's already wasted 1 and hasn't gotten a kill. Let's see what else happens.
Oh, it looks like he will go ahead and shoot that second one. Takes snipe down those shields. Easy clean up there with the pistol. Still has 2 rockets left. Only 1 in chamber, though, and he's surrounded by 2 players. He might be turning rockets over there. Not necessarily what you want to see. Ooh, big trade there from Falcated, because that's going to buy some additional time. Maybe Roy, yeah, sure enough, Roy will be able to answer back, hopefully get these rockets in control of Evil Genius's Mikwin. It's the only one there holding him back.
It's important for Roy either to get a kill with these rockets or at least waste the rocket so it doesn't go on over to the members of Envy, and that's exactly what he does. Heads up play by Roy, realizing that he was going to die. Mikwin ends up cleaning up a double kill, and Hook finds the 3rd kill, so that's going to be a 3-kill lead in favor of Envy as we take a look at Hook's stats. 2.12 KDA.
Yeah, and we'll see. This is what I was scared of. It was Evil Geniuses in the lead when they had the weapons to open this one up, but as soon as those weapons are out of anybody's hands, keep in mind the 6-kill lead from Envy came without any power weapon. So now that we're seeing rockets in the hands of Hook again, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing this increase.
There's 1 kill onto Falcated. Snipe down, gonna find one onto Roy. That's gonna be all 4 dead. Very scary situation to be in if you're Evil Geniuses right now. Who could just dominate by pushing into the window, and that's what he does. Pushes out and then thrusts right back. Keeps the majority of his shields, and now Evil Geniuses, they are getting collapsed on hard by Envy.
I mean, they're doing a good job trying to stay separated. They come off split spawns here over towards red, but Hook and friends weren't recognizing that he didn't have any ammo in this gun, but it's like it doesn't even matter with these rockets. He's able to secure a couple of kills. No thrust left for Falcated. He just used it. 25-14, Tom, and that's what happens when Envy gets the weapon.
And Hook has 10 kills, so Evil Genius is 14, Hook 10 right now. This guy is going on a run, like you said, Kyle. As soon as they get the weapons on the side of Envyus, things are going to get scary. Guess what? They just used all the rockets. That player died, and Ola still has the sniper rifle with plenty of ammo.
The fact he was just able to stay alive there. Evil Genius is clearly recognizing Pistola's no shields with the sniper rifle hiding, throwing as many grenades as possible, pick up a couple hit markers, but not enough to take him out. And then this is what's going to happen. Pistola, of course, I wasn't surprised here. He's going to start heating up with this weapon. Never count Pistola out of a game. 30-17. Tom, I'm pretty sure they're winning 14-12.
That is a ridiculous run from Envy. Now the rockets are coming up, and they are going to posture over towards that side of the map. Falcated, that's a big kill onto Pistola. Still plenty of time to get back into this one, but it has to start soon. You do not want Evil Geniuses to go and try to fall on their faces here and go down 2-0. So they're going to try to fight as much as possible, and now, like we said, is the time. 21-32. Weapons in the hands of Mikwin. They're going to drop him. He had the sniper rifle. Falcated going big on the blue elbow. That's the type of plays that they're going to need. Not just right now, Kyle, but the rest of the series.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct there. And with that sniper rifle now changing hands, Falcated, like you pointed out, he was the guy going huge in the Slayer game yesterday to help lead EG to victory. So 33-23 now. Falcated, he's got to step it up right now.
He's got 6 shots left in this sniper rifle, so if he can turn those into a couple of kills, that's going to be great. But they get pinched immediately. Hook coming in there with the kill, snipe down. He's going to drop to Lunchbox. 10 kills to make up right now. If you're EG, you got to do it with this next rocket launcher that's going to drop right around that 6-minute mark. So let's see what Lunchbox is going to do. They need to make sure that within this next minute, Envy doesn't pick up that 40th kill. And while they do that, they need to bring this in within about 5 kills. So everybody going to have to do their part here on Evil Geniuses in order to control the weapons.
Now, if you see in that graphic there, Snipe Down has found himself that sniper rifle, but Pistola still 1 rocket left here, and a collapse coming out for Team Envyus. 2 players from EG trapped on blue elbow. Looks like Pistola wisely waits for his shields to come back before they start pushing in. Great grenades start coming out, and sure enough, picking up a couple different kills here and working together to control and lock down this sniper side of the map as we see that spawning in about 10 seconds.
And it didn't happen, Kyle. They weren't able to locate where Pistola was to get the weapons out of his hands, and now he's found the sniper rifle as well. Roy getting that grenade off, but as we said, they needed to get towards that 5-kill mark by the time that Envy hit 40, and that did not happen. They are still down 10 kills. So Envy just going to try to trade kills here, make their way on over towards the rockets, allow Lunchbox to get the sniper rifle. if you're Evil Geniuses, someone has to throw a plasma grenade over towards these rockets. Someone's got to blow these back. Someone's got to make their way over up towards the elbow while Lunchbox has the sniper, because he cannot do this alone.
Yeah, 33 to 43, so keeping it within 10, but like we said, definitely scary. Rocket's still up there, and so that's a sniper rifle on both teams. Snipe Down found that one bottom center on Pistola's body. Lunchbox has the new one here, so maybe we'll see some former teammates face off in a sniper battle.
Snipe Down only has one more bullet. Meanwhile, Lunchbox pretty much has a full snipe. Snipe Down puts that bullet to use, though, and rips Falcated's face off. Meanwhile, Lunchbox finds one onto Hook. Twin brother Roy gets one onto Mikwin, but they're both trapped inside of... Ooh, they get out of the cave somehow, but now they have to face Pistola, who has the rockets. Good grenades coming in from Lunch, but now it's time to just jump off with that sniper rifle and throw it off the map. Either way, the game is over, 49 to 37. That's going to be all she wrote for Evil Geniuses. Envy, they went on an amazing run, but Evil Geniuses was able to at least trade kills towards the tail end of that game, so maybe they can carry something over towards game 3. Obviously, so much different than game number 1, which was 100 to 1.
Yeah, 100 to 1, 50 to 37. Either way, not as close as Evil Geniuses was hoping. Of course, they're looking to get some wins here, but once we take a look at the stats, it was really just all about Envy that whole time. Hook starting off the game with 10 kills, more than EG combined, I think, to start that off here. And one thing to keep in mind here as we move over, power weapon kills.
Just look at the amount of power weapon kills. You don't stand a chance going up against Envy if you're going to allow 4 power weapon kills for Hook, 5 for Pistola. Only 1 and 2 for Mikwin and Snipe Down, but only 2 total for Lunchbox. That's just not enough.
Now, I can't remember if Hook or Pistola had the sniper rifle there, but Mikwin and Snipe Down definitely did. So that's 3 sniper rifle kills, and that could be as many as 9 rocket kills coming out of Pistola and Hook.
Just absolutely insane. And you see Hook with the rockets right there. He played it fairly well. Evil Geniuses, they had a couple of opportunities to get into it, but again, when you're down by so much and you're just fighting that uphill battle the entire time against a team who's the heavy favorite, you have to make sure that you're getting that last rocket launcher. That was the big problem. Snipe Down still had a couple of shots left in his sniper rifle. Lunchbox, he was hitting body shots instead of headshots. Nobody pushed on over there to get the rockets and stayed alive. We saw a couple people go and do that without any success, but unfortunately for Evil Geniuses, they could not get the weapons in their hands, and that's just a recipe for disaster.
It absolutely is. And like we said, game number 3, Truth CTF. Will we see all 4 3-0s here today?
I think it's never happened.
I don't know if it has either. Or will we see Evil Geniuses be able to extend this series, give Envy a loss here? It will take a reverse sweep at this point, something that I don't know if we've ever seen happen to Team Envyus, actually. Envyus is always the one to start off slow and
Optics
then close
close.
it out strong.
Optics gotten close. I'm not sure if they've ever completed it, though. They pushed them to game number 5 already in this Pro League. Evil Geniuses, can they do it? Evil Geniuses has been reverse swept. They know that it's possible, obviously, but can they do it to another team, especially a team so well-rounded like Envy? That's a solid start, taking down Mikwin immediately. Ola looks like he got the camo, and he's going to drop to Lunchbox as well. Lunchbox immediately flying in underneath the base, most likely going to have players above him to his left, and there they are coming in from the car side, so he's just trying to stay alive on over towards the toilet area. That's just a weird challenge right there, and now both players are going to drop tapping buttons and Lunchbox. Too much aggression for Lunchbox.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great start. Mikwin, Lunchbox, I think, shot the plasma grenade sitting in window to take Mikwin no shield to pick off the kill to open it up, but nonetheless, a little bit over-aggressive between Lunchbox and tapping buttons, trying to move that flag out of the base and quickly gets shut down, and then that opens up the door here for Team Envy's push out. Now they're in control of Evil Genius's base, and with that missed melee, Hook was still full shields after grabbing a kill.
Interesting that Hook, I think, was the last guy alive in that situation. He ends up tossing the flag out. And while that happens, look at the desperation that comes in for Evil Geniuses. They have to go and fly out. And Roy takes himself out of the game for a good 15 seconds now, all because of that little play. Keep in mind that Hook also got a kill throughout all of that. So creating opportunities for his team with little much resources, really. I mean, there wasn't much to do right there in that situation. and he pulled off a phenomenal play. So now you're seeing Envy starting to advance on the map a little bit. They're starting to get some footing. They get on over towards pink side. Pistol and Snipe Down find a couple of kills. They've trapped Evil Geniuses now underneath the base, and now that flag is going out car side. It all depends on where the spawns are, and those aren't very fortunate spawns for Evil Geniuses. Great teamwork to get out of that situation, but there was a time where 3 of them were trapped underneath the base right there, Kyle, and the flag for Envy didn't advance any further than it was originally tossed.
Yeah, that was a great sign for Evil Geniuses here, because I don't think Envy recognized that there were 3 players below the base, and that's why they were taking so long to move that flag. Had they recognized that, Mikwin definitely wouldn't have been sitting in front of the base there. To 3 dead for Envy. Ola, last guy alive, gets taken out. That puts Hook as the last player alive. Mikwin, great job listening to call-outs there, but that's 4 dead. We're going to see Evil Geniuses put this first flag in.
That's what you need. Evil Geniuses getting that stealth capture as tapping buttons puts it in. And they had all 4 dead while that flag was past the 50-yard line, which should mean that they should maintain map control. Tongue twister there, sorry about that. And they should get the camouflage, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. I believe Envy was able to pick it up. I'm going to scroll through and see if Alumni was on top of that time. Actually, camouflage was burned, so nobody currently invisible on the map. Advantage on over to Evil Geniuses based on the score, but positioning in the favor of Envy right now as they're looking to try to tie this one up. Again, very shocking to see Envy not utilized when 3 players were underneath the base, and then Evil Geniuses coming back and responding with a capture of their own. So out of all the games, Evil Geniuses, they are finally looking like a well-rounded squad here, going up against, again, the #1 seed and the heavy favorites in Envy.
Yeah, and we see tapping buttons pushing into the base. 2 dead, make that 3 dead. So he's the last player alive. Grabs a big kill onto Hook here. Gets the flag out, so it's going to buy some time and be quite a distraction here for Envy. But they're not letting that affect them too much. They're already rotating Evil Geniuses flags across P1.
If you're Envy, what you want to do here is use that flag as bait towards bottom center, and they do get that return. That flag is going to be going in. Envy going to tie the game up 1-1, but still, if you're Evil Geniuses, you got to be feeling good about how this game has gone so far. I mean, a majority of them have ended by the time we've hit that 4 or 5 minute mark, and now we're pretty much beyond that after the next 30 seconds here when Camo is going to be popping up. And when you look at it, Evil Geniuses, they're in position to run another flag, and they're doing so. While Pink 2 control is under their favor too, but Falcated drops, and now the flag guy is a little bit vulnerable. Fortunately for Evil Geniuses, he gets around the corner and thrusts that one in. Cap #2 going on over to Roy. Evil Geniuses, they are not going down without a fight.
You're absolutely correct there. They put 2 flags in. Amazing job, especially against this likes of Team Envyus here. So that new camo should be up any second. We'll see who's able to secure that one. Lunchbox, not the best nade I've ever seen. Has to jump out, gets taken off by Mikwin.
That's not the best nade you've ever seen?
Nope, it was not.
All right, well, we'll see if anyone else will throw some impressive grenades.
Saw some great sticks from Renegade.
That was ridiculous. And, you know, in honor of Renegade, I'm wearing shorts under my shorts under my shorts under my pants.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's very impressive. Another impressive cap coming in from Envy. Well, knotted up 2-2 here. Ola doing a great job staying alive. It's very difficult when you're over there by yourself, but he did stay alive just long enough for other teammates to go and help him. So now that he's able to do so, this could be the 3rd and final flag cap going in. Lunchbox, he's the last guy alive. They've spotted him. Now Falcated, he's laying down some cover fire across the map. Does drop Snipe Down, but I'm not sure if that was the flag guy. Now Pistola, all he has to do is be a nuisance and stay alive and distract long enough for Envy to go and run this flag. But yet, while that's happening, Evil Geniuses has been winning the fights on the Envy side of the base. It's up to Hook now, who ends up picking that huge double kill. He picks up the flag at the right time as well. Somehow still lives, gets the triple kill. That means that the return has to be coming through, and it does. Envy, they end the series 3-2 and win it 3-0 overall. So all 3 zeros today.
All 3 zeros.
Wow.
Yesterday we had the Naventic, taking the game off Optic Gaming, but what we have today is just Red Team running away with the series each and every time. Taking a look at the stats here, 6 flag grabs for Envy, 5 for EG. Extremely close back and forth game, but overall slays and teamwork going in favor of Team Envyus. Snipe Down 13-9. And of course, Hook with the triple kill at the end of that game to actually secure that last flag capture in a situation where it could have gone either direction. Hook and Envy they were at a numbers disadvantage before Hook got that triple kill. So that flag absolutely could have been returned, Hook being too clutch.
I believe Hook had 4 of the flag grabs out of the 6 that Envy had, and that's just great objective work overall from these guys. And you would expect after that double kill, you saw the numbers going in favor of Evil Geniuses. It seemed like they were going to be able to get that return. They don't. That's the final flag cap going in. Envy, great first couple of games. Evil Geniuses, they fought very hard in game number 3, but they couldn't turn the corner. And again, they still can't find that decisive series win.
Yeah, and of course, Envy picking up their 6th win of the season, and on top of that, 3 wins in a row, continuing that extremely high or increasing their map win percentage there as well. So quickly closing the door and becoming our #1 seed.
No doubt about it. And we saw that right from the beginning when in the very first series, they came out firing, and they made it their objective not just to come out and have slow series, but not come out and have a slow pro league. They know that when this got shortened down to 7 matches, that every match means twice as much. They're only going to play each team once. They won their big series against Optic Gaming in that game number 5. They were on the verge of potentially being reverse swept, but yet they pull it out, and they've continued to beat the teams that they should after that. And you got to be scared if the other teams watching how well they're executing.
Yeah, and it's not like Evil Geniuses was playing bad in any way. That was just Envy just, playing amazing. I don't even think that was Envy's best that we were seeing there. They were just able to close out every game, and that's just a scary thing for every other team.
A little too
watching.
much challenging and a little bit of poor positioning from Evil Geniuses. I feel like they could work on those things, but that's not the Evil Geniuses, in my opinion, that is bringing their A game. To me, I feel like they kind of brought their B- game today. Again, obviously, when you go up against a high-caliber team like Envy, it's very tough. It's a very tough test, I guess you can say, and they weren't able to pass it today.
Yeah, we are joined here by the coach of Team Envyus, Alumni here. Alumni, congratulations on yet another win here for your Team Envyus squad. Now, what is it like being 6-0 here in Pro League? Because I'm pretty sure this is the first time you guys have been undefeated.
Yeah, no, we're feeling pretty good right now. Obviously, we're going for that undefeated streak, like completely finishing off the rest of the Pro League. We have Splice next week, so we're looking forward to that match. We're just staying focused and just keep, winning matches day by day.
All right, so today was the first day, I believe, that we saw all 3-0s. First of all, were you surprised to see all the 3-0s? And then second of all, what is going on with the top 4 teams really separating themselves even further than we've seen previously?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I kind of expected like some of the 3-0s today, but sometimes, there's always that one series that just doesn't end up being a 3-0. But for whatever reason, no, the top 4 teams have just stepped up completely from last season, and they just want to get a win like here and just prove that they can actually beat us and Optic and Splice and contend. And it seems like Liquid is really coming after us and everyone else, and it's just tough right now. So.
All right. So we saw what the top 4 teams already are able to do. They all won here today. Now, we asked this to Spar, and I want to ask it to you. Who do you think, outside of the top 4, is the team to make a run for that statement?
Outside of the top 4, at one point or another, I thought it probably could have been Luminosity. I felt like they probably had potential. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I'm not really focused on anyone else other than our team right at this point, and I couldn't even give you a good prediction on that or a good opinion on that right now because I'm just focused on us winning. That's it.
All right. So we have, obviously, who is your guys' biggest competition then? So if you're not going to choose one from 5 through 8, what about in that top 4? You got Liquid, Splice, and Optic Gaming. Who gives Envyus the biggest run?
Himself. He's going to choose themselves as their biggest competition. Next level.
Obviously, Optic, I mean, they're always, I feel, our biggest competition, but there's a lot of other talent elsewhere in Splice, and obviously we can't overlook Liquid. I mean, any of these teams at an event and any given day, really, but Optic for sure. I mean, that's our, our #1 for sure.
All right, Marcus. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I couldn't agree with you more. I cannot wait to see what happens next week, and then extremely excited for Denver. So thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck next week.
Thanks for having us. Or, yeah, me.
All right, there you have it. Team Envyus coming out another 3-0. So 4 3-0s here today. Speaking of which, let's take a look at what happened today. No surprise here. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. One of the fastest Pro League days we have ever had. Splice, Optic, Liquid, and Envy cementing themselves as our top 4 teams here. And after today, let's take a look at the standings, see where these teams are fitting into the rankings. Undefeated Team Envyus. Then Optic and Liquid both at 5-1. It's just crazy considering that first loss for Liquid came in day number 1, so they are also on a winning spree.
And when you look at these standings, the big thing to me to look at besides the top, right, you're seeing that Envy, Optic, Liquid thing pan out, but look at Evil Geniuses and Ronin. Ronin could potentially go and steal a win next week and make their way into 6th. And Kyle, that's a huge difference. Yes, Liquid, they're amazing, but you would much rather play against Liquid than Optic Gaming.
You're 100% correct there, Tom. And speaking of next week and being able to overtake any of the rankings, let's take a look at the last day of Pro League schedule. Sure enough, EG versus Ronin closing out the night. So who do you want to play in Denver? Liquid or Optic? You better bring your A game for that one.
Yeah, that is going to be a great series. Just look at this last week. It is completely stacked. Splice taking on Envy, Optic taking on Liquid, Luminosity taking on Naventic, Evil Geniuses taking on Ronin. I can guarantee you and bet my casting life that that will not be all 3-0s next week.
Yeah, I could not imagine that happening. If anything, I want to be surprised if we go the distance in every one of those series, because it is a complete flip of today. The top 4 versus the bottom 4. Now it's 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, 3 and 4. Everybody's going at it.
You know what's really cool is, since there is only one match next week, one day next week for these guys to play, they are actually going to be preparing just for one team now for the next week. So that's going to be interesting to see how these guys prepare for one another. Most likely not going to scrimmage against one another, but going to be doing the research that they want to try to get that one up on the other team.
Right, absolutely. Now, of course, that does it for the matches here, but like we announced earlier today, make sure you get your Team Pass for DreamHack Denver. They are on sale now, so head over to the links at the bottom of your screen to find out all the information about competing here in the fall finals of 2017. That does it for us here, Tom. We are almost finished with Pro League fall season. We'll see you guys next week, so GG's and good night.